Republican Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana, member of the Finance, Banking, Judiciary, and Appropriations Committees, is with me now. Great to see you. Look, there are a lot of people in this country who have worked their whole lives, put money into the stock market through their job 401ks. There are people who are getting ready to retire and maybe looking to that money. What the president is asking people to do is give him a little bit of time. What's your take on the message now to the American public? Because we have hit a place now where, as the president says, China's reacting.
Well, I didn't know what China would do. I didn't know and still don't know what other countries will do. I've said consistently since the president made his tariffs announcement that we're in uncharted waters. We're in the economic unknown. The president's long-term goal is laudable. I support it. It's not complicated. America is rich. We buy a lot of stuff. Every business in the world wants to sell to us. The president is saying to those businesses in other countries, if you want to sell to us and take our money, then you need to move your business to America and hire our people. Now, who can be against that? Again, though, I've also been careful to say we're in uncharted waters. The stock market matters. And before I talk about it, let me say the economy is fundamentally sound. We just got a good jobs report.
Yep.
I wouldn't trade places with any other country in terms of our economy. But the stock market does matter. About 62% of Americans have money in the market. The wealth effect is real. There's reliable data that shows that for every $1 that the stock market or one's holdings in the stock market goes down, people spend 25 cents less. Well, we're a consumer-driven economy, and if people are spending less, that's going to affect your GDP. And so I'm not going to bubble wrap it. What's happening is not good. Now, will it continue? Will we find a bottom and then it'll start to go back up? I hope so. That's what I'm pulling for.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't, we'll have to recalibrate.
You know, the power of the words you just spoke and where you started with, we're in uncharted territory. So is the rest of the world. The rest of the world's never seen anybody do what we're doing right now.
True.
But they do know Trump. And if some of them have ever had any dealings with him, and many people around the world have, before he was president, they knew who he was, part of the deal. They know that the reason you go into that uncharted territory is because you have a plan to get on the other side. So it's interesting. There have been some countries that have early on said, okay, we hear you. China came back with 34. We'll see what that does with that 34%. But you and I hear it from your voice, we're counting on America. And the rest of the world is also in uncharted territory. We'll cover it all. Let me get to this with you. 19 Democratic attorneys general are suing the Trump administration over the president's executive order on federal elections. This is the fourth lawsuit against last week's order. It requires voters to give documented proof of citizenship to register to vote in federal elections. Meanwhile, Senate Democrats are pushing back against a Republican bill to stop non-citizens from voting. Republican Senator Eric Schmitt with this.
Right now, you don't actually ever have to prove you're a citizen to register to vote, right? If you're sort of a loophole, if you're an illegal immigrant and you go and you're working in or if you're getting a permit to work in this country, you can get a driver's license. Okay, you can get a driver's license in this country, and if you get a driver's license, you can register to vote. And they never ask you the citizenship question at that point. Then it's all over. The irony now, of course, of Chuck Schumer saying he's going to filibuster. What were they going to do with all that power? They were going to eliminate the filibuster so they could pack the United States Supreme Court.
All right, the American public looks at this and they're like, well, how much of a game are we watching play? And it's not fun. Like, what is the bottom line in all of this? Why are they going after this president this way?
Here's the bottom line, in my judgment. They're going after the president in a haphazard way because they don't like the president. And the issue doesn't seem to matter. I find it extraordinary that anyone, including and especially my Democratic colleagues, can be opposed to election integrity. That's like being opposed to children or prosperity or golden retrievers. Our states have control with guidance by the federal government of elections. I don't think we ought to change that, but I think we need to have 2 hard and fast rules. If we do this, our elections will be fine. Number 1, you have to prove you are who you say you are in order to vote. It is illegal to vote if you're not a citizen of this country. So you have to prove that you are who you say you are in order to vote. Number 2, we need to go back to an election day, not an election month. Now, if a state wants early voting, if it wants absentee voting, if it wants mail ballots, I prefer to vote on election day, but not everybody shares my point of view. It's up to the states. However they decide to do it, number 1, you have to prove you are who you say you are before your vote is counted. And number 2, all the votes have to be counted on election night. And then we'll be just fine.
Wow. You know, I remember Democrats, one of them right here in New York City, Eric Adams, he's now left the Democratic Party since, who said while campaigning, he was going to figure out a way to let illegal immigrants vote in this city. And there are other Democrats who've said as much as well. But if it's illegal, they'd have to change the whole legal system. I guess that's also a reason to go after a sitting president who's doing something to hold them accountable. Senator, always great to have you on the program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.